Good day, my dear brothers and sisters in Christ. I welcome you to this Sunday reflection for the 30th Sunday of the year B. The theme of our reflection is leading people to Christ. Take heart, get up, He's calling you. Mark chapter 10, verse 49. Christopher Seguier was a 15-year-old boy playing basketball with his friends on May 16, 1998, and was hit in the chest by a stray bullet. The bullet perforated his aorta, leaving him in a critical condition. His friends helped him get within 40 feet of the entrance to Ravenswood Hospital, and then went inside to ask for help. The hospital staff refused to help Christopher, saying it was against the hospital's policies to administer aid to those outside the hospital. Eventually, a policeman got a wheelchair and brought Christopher into the hospital, where the staff helped him. It was too late, however, and Christopher died about an hour later. Often, our churches are surrounded by people who desperately need our help, yet we are content to pay attention only to those who manage to come inside. This attitude contradicts our readings, which express God's plan of salvation for all. Our first reading is about God's design of bringing His people home from exile. It describes this transition to freedom using a lot of imagery. Our second reading furthers the theme and shows how Christ saved us from spiritual exile by becoming one of us. In our gospel reading, Jesus restored sight to Bartimaeus, the blind beggar, demonstrating that He's God's instrument of restoration. Baptism makes us other Christs. Our readings therefore invite us to work relentlessly for the redemption of our brothers and sisters who are struggling and searching for peace and joy that only God can give them. Unfortunately, we sometimes turn away those who are searching for Jesus. This is precisely what happened to Bartimaeus in our gospel reading. Upon learning that Jesus was on the road, Bartimaeus immediately cries out to Him. But the people with Jesus shut him down. Why did they do that? The people of Jesus' time considered blindness to result from sin. Consequently, blind people and others with defects were kept on the fringes of society. They were not to mingle with normal people. The people wanted Bartimaeus to allow Jesus and His disciples to pass undisturbed by Him. Bartimaeus will have none of it and cries out louder. His sight is restored and he becomes a disciple. Our case may not differ from that of the staff at Ravenswood Hospital, which refused to treat Christopher, and the crowd that dissuaded Bartimaeus. Nonetheless, we often refuse to pay attention to those searching for Jesus. Instead of reaching out to them, we choose to be comfortable in our celebrations, prayers, and criticism. It is this attitude that led Pope Francis to state in Evangelii Gaudium number 49, "I prefer a church which is bruised, hurting, and dirty because it has been out on the streets, rather than a church which is unhealthy from being confined and from clinging to its own security. I do not want a church concerned with being at the center and which then ends up by being caught up in a web of obsessions and procedures." If something should rightly disturb us and trouble our consciences, it is the fact that so many of our brothers and sisters are living without strength, light, and consolation, born of friendship with Jesus Christ, without a community of faith to support them, without meaning and a goal in life. We know the people that the Pope refers to. Some of them are our relatives and friends. Unfortunately, focusing on those within the church is more manageable than being open to those whose circumstances have placed them outside. The gospel reading ended on a good note because the crowd underwent a conversion experience at Jesus' request. They changed from dissuading Bartimaeus to encouraging him to rise and go to Jesus. We need the same conversion to reach out to those who are lost. This week I invite you to do the following. Call or visit someone you have not seen in church for some time. Secondly, reach out to a family member or friend who is no longer practicing the faith and you know is struggling. Have a blessed week.